An explosion in Moscow killed Lieutenant General Igor Kirillov, chief of the Russian Armed Forces Radiation, Chemical and Biological Defense Troops. The Security Service of Ukraine is behind the operation to eliminate him, RBC-Ukraine reports with a reference to its sources. A scooter with explosives was detonated when Kirillov and his assistant were entering the entrance of a house in Ryazansky Prospect in Moscow. They were both killed. Kirillov was a war criminal and a legitimate target, as he gave orders to use banned chemical weapons against the Ukrainian military. Such an ignominious end awaits all those who kill Ukrainians. Retribution for war crimes is inevitable, said an informed source. Recall, Security Service of Ukraine served Kirillov with a notice of suspension in absentia for the massive use of banned chemical weapons against the Ukrainian forces in eastern and southern Ukraine. Last week, the top designer of cruise missiles, Mikhail Shatsky, was eliminated. Even earlier, the head of the Yelenovskaya colony, where fighters of the Ukrainian Azov were executed. Ukrainian military political observer of the information resistance group, Alexander Kovalenko, says to Charter 97 media outlet that after such operations, it is customary to remember that Israeli special services and their achievements. Mossad is resting. With all due respect, Mossad has played a leading role in carrying out such tasks for decades, however, mostly due to PR. At the same time, there are many complaints about these operations. Mossad became famous because it was the first to start spreading its achievements on a large scale. I would like to emphasize that I cannot confirm now whether this general was eliminated by the Ukrainian special services or not, but in general, all this is now being done quite calmly, without pathos, he said. According to Alexander Kovalenko, war criminals should now look back. It is interesting that we see a very interesting cross-section. It can be, at first glance, a completely non-media person who was engaged in the intellectual component of the development of the X-59 and X-69, or it can be a media, well-known person, a general. That is, everyone in the Russian Federation should look back, starting from the average assembler of the kamikaze drone Shahed 136 and ending with the former Minister of Defense of Russia, Sergei Shoigu. I am sure that the highest Russian military command understands everything perfectly well. They are not stupid. They realize that their elimination will continue in the future, Alexander Kovalenko added.
Social media footage showed birds on shores covered in mazut on Monday, after 3,700 tons of the heavy, low-quality oil product spilled into the Kerch Strait in the Black Sea when two Russian ships were seriously damaged by stormy weather. The two ships, the Volganeft 239 and the Volganeft 212, were transporting roughly 9,200 tons of mazut. Footage from the scene also showed a black liquid rising among the waves. Preliminary estimates say that 3,700 tons of mazut leaked into the sea, Russian state news outlet RIA Novosti reported, citing an unnamed source. The leader of Russia's nearby Krasnodar region, Governor Veniamin Kondratev, said everything was removable. "We can say with confidence that there will be no threat to the 2025 resort season," he added. An emergency rescue operation was launched Sunday after the Volganeft Tu-12 tanker ran aground and had its bow torn away in storm conditions, Russia's Emergency Situations Ministry said. One sailor in the 13-man crew died, officials said. A second tanker, the Volganeft Tu-39, was also left damaged and adrift with 14 crew members on board. It later ran aground 80 meters from shore, close to the port of Taman in Russia's Krasnodar region, from where the sailors were later rescued. Russian officials confirmed the oil spill Sunday, but said that experts were still working to assess its full impact and extent. In a statement, Greenpeace Ukraine said they will monitor the situation. The charity has had no presence in Russia since 2023, when it was designated as an undesirable organization by the Russian government. The Kerch Strait separates the Russian-occupied Crimean Peninsula from Russia and is an important global shipping route, providing passage from the Sea of Azov to the Black Sea. It has also been a key point of conflict between Russia and Ukraine after Moscow annexed the peninsula from Ukraine in 2014. In 2016, Ukraine took Moscow to the Permanent Court of Arbitration, where it accused Russia of trying to seize control of the area illegally. In 2021, Russia closed the strait for several months.
16 декабря, поселок Волна, порт. Это уже вторая на берегу, вся в мазуте. Как помочь-то вам? Помощи просит. Бедненькая.
Спасаем птицу. Вот, выловили на анапке. Да. На анапке куча птиц. Кто может хотя бы по одной, выловите, спасите. Все ходят, только смотрят и снимают на телефон. Все птицы в мазуте.
Вон черная вся.